Hey guys, today we're going to be answering the question many people have had regarding Battlebit Remastered. When you see the word Remastered in the title, it makes you wonder why. Is it because this isn't actually the first Battlebit game? Maybe somewhere there exists a Battlebit 1 or a Battlebit original. The real answer is a bit complicated. You know what else is complicated? Finding a creative and funny way to ask you to subscribe. Ahem. Before we can arrive at an answer, let's talk about the development process for the original Battlebit. According to the devs, it has been a long and tough process. The small team behind Battlebit is actually only made up of 3 developers, which makes their accomplishment and success even more impressive. The project first kicked off in June 2016. Back then, very few people knew about the game, and there was little marketing or promotion of the game. The developers were actually sending people zipped archives of the game to test and give feedback. The game was mostly popular among the Russian community. Hence, in these clips, you'll see people typing in Russian language. You can see that Battlebit back then looks nothing like the game we have today, in 2023. Pretty much everything you can see is different. Just look at the different things like the chat box, kill messages, and even the maps and player models. If I didn't tell you this is also Battlebit, you might not even recognize it because everything is so different from what it is today. By April 2017, the developers felt confident enough to publish the game to Steam Greenlight, which has since been discontinued. Steam Greenlight was Valve's system to allow small game developers to submit their games and get voted on by the community. Projects that received the necessary amount of votes and met other criteria, according to Valve, were passed through the program and allowed to be released on Steam. Even though the community back then for Battlebit was smaller, they were still able to get enough support to pass the program. The program actually shut down in June 2017, so they barely made it through in time. At some point soon after being approved, the developers felt a need to rewrite the netcode powering the game. Netcode is a word used to refer to back-end code that handles interactions between clients and the server. This includes things like registering whether you got a headshot or a body shot, and synchronizing the movement of different player-controlled units such as infantry and tanks around the map. Netcode also plays a key role in managing things like players having a different ping, because they're connecting from different continents to the same server. And also, when players try to cheat using hacked clients. Hacked clients often try to abuse netcode by sending illegal packets to allow players to do illegal things in the game. Some things they can do, for example, would be to find out where people are through walls, or to see them even if the enemy is not on the radar. Good netcode will try to detect or mitigate these attempts to cheat. A countermeasure the server could employ is limiting information to the client about things that are not visible to the player. That way, even if the player tries to use a cheat to wall hack, the information simply isn't available. Cheating isn't the main focus though. It's very important for a game to have solid netcode. Otherwise, players will experience frustration from shots not registering, or lag when moving. You can often see people complaining about bad netcode as the reason they have quit a game, or praising good netcode as one of the reasons they love a game. A game can have many great qualities, but if netcode is bad, then it is fundamentally impossible to enjoy, and definitely cannot be played in any sort of competitive environment. Rewriting the netcode took some time, but it had the added benefit of allowing to expand the server size to support 128 players on a single server. Other things that took time included optimizing certain animations such as bullet casings, and an environmental destruction system that lets you destroy the environment by blowing up walls and buildings. This allows the landscape to change as the battle progresses.
Nah, bro, I couldn't even jump through the stinking window.
128 was not the final player cap though. Over time they expanded the player cap again to be even higher, allowing 2 teams of 127 players to wage war against each other. That's a total of 254 players on a single server in the final version. By far the most talked about feature though was proximity chat. which lets you hear funny interactions between you and the players you killed. Here's an example.
Oh, come on! I was trying to drag you, I'm sorry, man.
No, don't take him! Yeah, you can't touch my homie. Fuck you.
Oh my god! Oh, the giggles are everywhere! Holy fuck, run! No, giggles! You killed my friend! How can I ever forgive you? Oh, drag me, daddy! Oh, that's a fence! You can't drag me, right? Oh, I see the lights! Oh, the light! Oh!
Skipping ahead in time to recent years, the developers of Battlebit opened up public playtesting on Steam in January 2022. Around this time, the game really started gaining traction as YouTubers began to make videos promoting it. Its viral explosion in popularity is partly due to the fact that Electronic Arts has not released a good Battlefield game in many years. This game is the perfect competitor to fill that gap in the market because of its large-scale combat and focus on teamwork, which were once things Battlefield was known to be great at. As of June 2023, the game has launched in early access. There are still, of course, things to be done, but the game is already polished enough to play and provide a fun experience for the public. People have wasted no time in saying things like how Electronic Arts is sweating bullets because of 3 indie developers. If you count the years, that's 7 total years the game has been in progress so far, and it'll still take a long time to move from early access to a final release. Because of what I covered in this video, the developers chose to call it Battlebit Remastered. The remastered in the name stands for the numerous improvements and reworks they have invested into the game. One main reason is because they wanted to provide a fun experience for their community. In fact, they've stated that they went with the low-resolution blocky graphics because they wanted to focus on the gameplay and mechanics, rather than diverting their focus to making pretty maps and graphics. Another reason for the graphics style is because the developers themselves had bad computers, and they knew the feeling of not being able to run modern games. So they sought to create a game that could be enjoyed by anybody, even players without dedicated gaming PCs. Now that you know a little bit about the history of the game, we can arrive at an answer to the question about Battlebit Original. Yes, Battlebit Original does exist. It was the game that started development in June 2016. When it passed the Steam Greenlight process, it was still known as Battlebit Original. If you look around hard enough on the internet, you may still be able to find a zipped-up copy floating around, back from the test period. But you don't have to. Over time, Battlebit gained enough improvements and changed so much that it is now known as Battlebit Remastered, to recognize the significant changes it received. So you're not missing out on another secret Battlebit game. The game you're playing and watching today is the product of 7 years of improvements, and that is why it is called Battlebit Remastered. The game that was improved and reborn before it even released. Thanks for watching, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
Their best battle cry when this starts, okay? 25 seconds. War cries, everybody. War cries. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!